Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is April 9th, 2025, and this is episode 132. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada with my husband and my two kids who are 15 and 13. Today for you, I have what am I wearing, finished objects, works in progress, next on my needle, and some books. I am so excited to talk about everything. I was feeling a bit down about my knitting last week. I think those final bits of the sweater that I was working on, kind of that final slog of getting it to the right one, almost running out of yarn, but not running out of yarn, and just all of those details, focusing so much on that one project, and I've cast on with wild abandon. So let's get into it. Today I am wearing my Whitmore sweater. Whitmore is a pattern by Amy Loden, and I knit this by holding a fingering weight and fluff together. They are both from Fireweed Fiber Co. The fingering weight was in the violet sock, which was so soft. I have like a skein left over. I have not decided what I'm gonna do with it yet, but oh, it's so soft. And this color is called 29. And then the fluff was the anemone mohair lace, and the color is called Cold Winter Morning. It was kind of a bit of a off-white, creamy tan kind of color, so it just kind of mellowed out the speckles from the 29 color. What else did I want to say about this? I knit this sweater last year in 2024. I finished it in October and I am very happy with it. It has turned out beautifully. I don't know why I thought knitting mohair through the summer was a good idea. I did not knit on it much through the summer, but I did finish it in the fall. So, and I have worn it quite a bit. It is still a bit sheddy. The mohair definitely sheds, especially when I wear leggings, my black leggings. But you know, it's the small price to pay to be super warm and a nice cozy sweater. And unfortunately, my hair kind of hides the beautiful lace details that are at the top here, but hopefully you're seeing them now. So that is what I'm wearing. Let's move on to some finished objects. If you watched over the last couple weeks, I have been working on completing some Woobles, which is a learn to crochet kit that I purchased last year, and I gave them to the kids for Christmas. They did both crochet some, and then I may have been a bit ambitious in the interest that they would have, so I decided that I rounded up all of the kits that I had purchased, and I have finished all of them so that the kids have the fun toys. I mean, they're teenagers, they don't really care about toys. They're gonna sit on a shelf and look cute, but I have finished 3, and I think that's all of the ones that I have in the house now. So this one is Joe. He's a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or whatever. This one was fun to do other than sewing in the coffee. And also I don't know if you can see, but the bottom is definitely like concave. When in the picture, it looks very flat. And I don't know what I did wrong, and then the top is kind of bubbling up. If I was to make something like this again, I would crochet by picking up the stitches around the inside and then going in flat, because I just feel like there was too much fabric for what was here, but it doesn't look bad with it kind of chocolate whipped cream heaped up. I don't know. Yeah, and if I cared about it more, I would have moved the handle from where I put it. It's kind of back, but yeah. Cooper likes it. That will sit on his desk. That's my 15-year-old. And then next I finished Jerry the jellyfish. He does have 8 legs though, so he could be an octopus. The legs are super fun to do, that kind of little spirally stitch. He looks angry to me though. Does he look angry? Anyway, that one's for Taylor. And the last one is a fox. Taylor, my 13-year-old, she used to be obsessed with red foxes. So this one is super cute. It's got a little tail. I asked her where she wanted the tail, because in the picture it's kind of coming out like the back side so that you see it when it's facing the front, but she wanted it at the back, and it actually sits nicely with it like that because it's got like something to lean against, so it actually sits up nicely. But everything's a little bit crooked on this one. I may have been rushing because I was like, I'm done with these things. Anyway, I will link to the Woobles website below. There are a whole bunch of kits in various beginner through advanced kind of processes. There are videos and patterns and notes and all sorts of great details. It comes with everything you need: the crochet hook, the filling, the eyes, safety eyes, embroidery, or black for any embroidery you need to do, the sewing needle, all of the stuff. Everything is in the kit, and they are great, but they are a little pricey for sure, and I talked about this before, but they are a good kit, and they have some questionable choices in partnerships. Obviously, Minecraft is still really big right now, and the movie just came out, and they have quite a few of those, and then there's some other ones. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but we picked some very cute animals and we were happy with those. I don't know that I would order them again for myself, because I do have all the supplies to make toys, and I don't enjoy the fiddliness of making a bunch of pieces and sewing them on, which is what these kits, these patterns are set up to do, because that can be more straightforward than trying to pick up and do something. Anyway, I have decided, I have found out about myself that I am not that into toy making or anything that's kind of fiddly. Even picking up sleeves just is a little bit of a blockade, even though it's not that complicated. It's just that little bit of an extra step that I just don't want to do. Although I will, because I love the sweaters. So for works in progress this week, I have quite a few. Let's review the ones that you've already seen before. These are my fork in the road socks. I don't know if I worked on these at all. I must have a little bit. Okay. So these are very fun spring colored socks. I must have moved the marker. I'm pretty sure, yeah. My marker says made with love. You probably can't see it, it's way too far away, but these are the Fork in the Road socks pattern by Lara Neal, and it's like a kind of a rounded heel instead of kind of a more pointy one, and I'm loving it. So far, I haven't worn them, so we'll see how they wear, see how they fit my foot. The yarn is a sock set from the Cozy Knitter in her Bliss base, and the color is called It's My Birthday, and then it comes with this pink mini, which I do have a fair bit left, but I think I'm just going to keep knitting on the leg of the sock and cuff in the stripes. That seems to be my preferred, and there's quite a bit of the striping left. My general way of measuring is I do the leg of the sock until it comes down to about where the toe is, as soon as a color change kind of happens in that area, and then I knit the cuff the same as the toe, and there's more hair. So we'll see. I'm sure I have enough because this was a full sock set, and I'm sure that I won't run out, but we have lots there. So yeah, and that's in my Beautiful Sisters bag. It's a perfect sock set bag. Next up is my scrappy Musselburgh hat. I've made a ton of progress. Oh, and more hair. How come I'm always losing hair and yet I still have so much? All right, on to the knitting. This is, it looks so funny in this shape. This is a Musselburgh by Isolde Teague, which is a double thick hat, double thick hat. So you basically knit two hats and then tuck one into the other one. So I am past the halfway point. This first color is some leftovers from a Knit Pick Felice in the Alexandrite colorway. It's very fun. And then this gray piece is going to be the cuff or the brim of the hat. And this was some Boss Lady Yarn Co. in the Mechanics Wrench. And in the pattern, it tells you like how many inches to knit for like each section. And now I am using the dark color that you can see is from my Polka Dot Creek Advent, and I can't remember which dye it is, but I only had a little bit left after my blanket. And then the teal aqua color that you can see is some Knit Picks Essential, no, Knit Pick Stroll in blue topaz, I think. No, Mermaid? I can't remember which one is which. I have two. This one. Oh, and the other one's in here. Hold on. They are different colors, sorta. This one's definitely more aqua, and this one's definitely more teal. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know how far I'll get on each of these. I have not much left of this dark color, and a fair bit left of this. I'm just kind of doing it scrappy-like, figuring out how much. Just keep going until I run out, and then cast on another color. Whatever is left, it's going to be totally scrappy. It may end up just being the inside of the hat if they like the, whoever this goes to, if they like the purple and green better. It's going to be for a friend or for a donation or whatever. Yeah, that is that. So that's the Musselburgh hat. I think I talked about all those things. Okay, great. So then I have cast on some, I've been inspired by crochet, and I have this. The sun is kind of blowing it out. It's teal. It's like bright colors. It's called Mod Blue. It is, I have a giant ball as big as my head. This is Bernat Handicrafter Cotton Solids, and I have the Mod Blue, and then I have an off-white. And this is the bottom of a bag. Got some extra yarn there. So it's gonna be like this, but I'll show you the bottom. And this is the Color Block Market Bag by Jen Palmer. Basically, you knit with a fun color on the bottom, and then at some point you change to a cream or a white, and you make the rest of the bag in that, and then you get a fun market bag. This is not the first time I've crocheted a bag, but this is the first time I'm using the Bernat cotton, and I quite like it. It's, I mean, it's cotton. It doesn't have stretch to it, but there's enough give to it that it doesn't hurt my hands. I am also being conscious of that and not working on it for hours and hours at a time. And, but I love this bright blue, and having more reusable bags is always a good idea. It may end up being teacher gifts for the end of the year. We'll see. I have the tangerine and the blue and the cream. So we'll kind of see how many market bags and kind of washcloths and stuff I can crochet out of those. Hopefully you guys are not hearing the garbage truck that is driving down the road and picking up my recycling right now. So that's it for the market bag, I think. Yeah, so the bottom is more solid, and then there's like a mesh part at the top. Anyway, I'm enjoying switching it up and having a bit of crochet and a bit of knitting and kind of doing a few different things. So I think that's going to be something that I keep in the future, is have a crochet project on the go at all times. And the last new cast on that I have is, where is it? Oh, it's hiding underneath the ball of yarn. It's tiny. Let's be honest. It's tiny. Can I even make it? Oh, I don't know what's happening here. There we go. The colors are so nice though. Okay, let's talk about what am I making? What is this little triangle? This is Paris in Berlin by Hoki Locatelli. It is a cowl, but it does have a point on it like a shawl would, but it's a cowl that you would slip over your head, and so you don't have to worry about it shifting or falling off or any ends hanging out different places. So yeah, you start off in this triangle shape. There is a bit of a pearl stitch in it. I'm not going to give away the secret sauce, but it is a very fun pattern, and I am looking forward to making it. This yarn is yarn I picked up on our Cross Canada trip. Is it going to focus? So this is Red Island Fibers, which they dye the yarn on PEI, Prince Edward Island, and the colorway is called Gramps Shirt. So it's clearly a very creamy yellowy color as the base, and then all sorts of blips of very muted colors. And this is an 80% eco-processed organic merino and 20% nylon. And it is 115 grams in the skein. So it's larger than a regular 100 gram skein, but I don't think I'm gonna use it all for the cowl. We'll see. We'll see how far I get, but yeah, I'm very, very, very excited about this. This is gonna be a gift for one of Taylor's favorite teachers. And I know she does wear things like this because I've seen her wear things like it's maybe not hand knit, but kind of scarves, etc. around her neck. So I know she will enjoy that. And since Taylor is moving on from middle school to high school this year, it's kind of nice to give a bit bigger of a gift. She's been there for 3 years. So, and yeah, so that's where I'm at. It is teacher gift season. That's it for works in progress. I have no stash updates, although I did get a shipping notification from Fireweed Fiber Co. this morning. So that might be here by the next podcast. You might have to wait another week after that. We'll see. And then I'm on to next on my needles. I gotta reach way down here. So I have 15 balls of this, which is Alan.com. They are no longer. This is their Peruvian baby silk, and it is 80% baby alpaca and 20% silk. So it gets a bit of a halo from the alpaca, but it's super strong, but it's also going to be very warm. And I would say this classifies as fingering weight, but it's a light fingering weight. And so good, you guys. I did a giant swatch. Look at this. I actually probably cast on way too much, but I actually, instead of ripping it out and doing it again, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna stick with this, and it looks so nice. It looks a little uneven, and that's okay, because it is a little airy, like I can kind of see through it. That is the point. You don't need it to be super warm, so that's what I was going for. This is the swatch that I did, and I haven't washed it yet. That's what the words. What are the words? I haven't washed it yet, which is why it's kind of curling and all weird and wibbly and stuff. I'm gonna wash it after I show you, but I didn't want it to be, I was gonna wash it this morning, but I didn't want it to be wet when I showed it to you, and I wanted to show you it. So this is part of the process. Yeah. Okay. And so after I wash this, I've taken the gauge measurements, and then I'm going to wash it, and I'm going to take the gauge measurements again, and then I'm going to decide what it is that I'm going to make. And I, in typical, fashion, have come up with different options than what I talked to you about last time. This is what happens when I start a new project and I know what yarn I want to use, but I don't know exactly which sweater I want to do. And I was liking the options that I had. I have a couple things I noticed that, especially when I'm wearing like a dress or something, I don't like to have anything too close to my neck. I know I've made quite a few sweaters lately that have higher necklines, but that's because these are meant to like keep me warm in the winter when it's chilly and I want something to cozy up in. This is gonna be specifically for a dress I'm wearing to a wedding in July, but also to go over like as a light layering piece in the spring late spring, summer, early fall, when it's still fairly warm, but not freezing, but also not 50 degrees, because, you know, that's happened. So I definitely want something that's like a bit lacy. The casual lace, which I talked about before from Justina Lakowska, is good, and I like it. I'm not 100% on the zigzagginess of it. Hopefully I've put a picture or something up in here so you guys can see it too. I'm not 100% on the zigzagginess of it, so I've been, you know, I don't know. And then the Granny Smith one that I think I showed you guys last time, again, has a higher neck. And I know there's another cardigan out there that I had been considering called Grace by Jane Richmond. And I love it. And it has a lot of plain stockinette, so it would be much quicker for me to actually make. But again, it has a higher neckline on it. And then I know that I wouldn't button it all the way up, so then it would kind of be flopping open. And I don't know that I would like that for what I'm going for. So I found another pattern. This is Lala by Anna Johanna. And it's much more of like a straight down kind of hanging cardigan. And it has a diamond lace pattern, which I think I like better. But is this yarn gonna work for that cardigan? Time will tell. The other thing is that starting from the top down is kind of important for me in this case, because I don't know if I want full sleeves or not, and I don't know how long I want the body of it. So I'm gonna need to try it on with the dress to kind of get a better feel for it. Of course, lace is going to bloom, etc., etc. And once I decide which cardigan, I will need to swatch in the lace pattern as well. It's very complicated. It's just turning out so complicated. And what I needed right now was some fun things, which is why I cast on a bunch of new stuff. Just, it's out of my queue, things that I'm really trying to go through my queue. And I am still working on using up my oldest yarn in my Scrappy Musselburgh. So I'm still following all the guidelines that I set out for this year, but I also would really like this cardigan. So I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm just making sure I go through the right steps in order to get there. All right, that is it for the knitting content. We'll move on to books. I have finished 2 books this week. I think I had talked about M is for Malice last week, and I have finished it now. I don't know that I had finished it last time I recorded, or whether I just talked about it and I was almost finished it, or I had finished it. I can't remember, so I'm just going to talk about it again. So I'm reading all the way through the Kinsey Millhone series by Sue Grafton, and I have finished M is for Malice. I have N is for Noose on hold at the library. Hopefully it'll come in soon. And I think I read the M is for Malice in Kobo form. And I usually listen to the books, and I quite like the narrator. Hopefully they don't change it halfway through now that I'm halfway. So we're getting there, we're getting there. I'm gonna complete the series by the end of the year. It's a goal. And then of course, because I was waiting for library books and I needed an audio book to listen to, I picked up a new series. I know. My plans for the year are to finish series that I have already started, but I have been hearing a lot about this book and I wanted to pick it up, and it was available to listen to right away. So I thought, you know what, I'll just taste the first book, see if I like the series, and then I can add it to my list of series that I'm reading if I do, and if I don't, then I know that I don't like that series. This is in the moment logic, right? This is how we justify our choices in the moment. I'm allowed to read whatever I want to read. There's no police saying I can't read a book. Anyway, let me talk about the book. It's called Gild by Raven Kennedy, and there's the garbage can again, our garbage truck, sorry, taking away our recycling. So this book is definitely spicy. right off the hop. So if you're not into that, it's fantasy, spicy. It was well written. It was an easy read. The characters are likable. There's some interesting developments, some things there. I think it's on the back that this girl is attached, not married or anything, but in the service of King Midas, who can turn everything to gold. And so there's some folklore sort of base to it. So that's kind of interesting to see how people interpret those kind of things and then make them into their own. So I quite enjoyed that. And yeah, it's added to my series list of things to read now. So it didn't jump to the top or anything. It wasn't something where I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know what happens next, but I'm definitely going to read it. So yeah, that is it for the books I have finished this week. I can't think of anything else happening right now. The garbage truck has really distracted me. He's gone now. It's all done. Although they did put my bin down with the lid open. Doesn't look like it's going to rain right now, but it possibly could rain. So after this, I'm going to have to go get my garbage cans and bring them up so that I close them. That'd be the worst, fill in with rain. What else? What else can I talk about since I am clearly rambling now? I don't think I have anything else to talk about, but I do hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I am looking forward to talking to you guys again next week. Bye.